Anjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhambitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Brinda Vaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And a small prayer to Srimad-Bhagavatam from Padma Purana, how Bhagavatam is Krishna. The prayer goes like this. Pada Vyadiya Pradama Dvitiya Tritiya Turyo Katita Taduru Nabhistata Panchamaye Vasascho Bhuja Darando Yugalam Tatanyo Kanta Suraja Navamo Yadiyo Mukha Ravindam Dasama Prafullam Ekadaso Yasya Lalata Patam Shiro Pitu Dvadasa Eva Bhati Tamadi Devam Karuna Nidanam Tamalavarnam Suhitavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. So the translation goes like this. Padav Yadiyo Pratama Dvitiya. The first and second cantos of the Bhagavatam are Shri Krishna's lotus feet. Padav Yadiyo Pratama Dvitiya. And then Tritiya Turiyo Khatitav Taduru. The third and the fourth cantos are his thighs. And Nabhi Stada Panchama Eva Sastu. And the fifth canto is his navel. And the sixth canto is his chest. Bhojantaram Dor Yugalam Tatanyo Kanta Surajan Navamo Yadiyo. The ninth canto is his throat, Kanta. Mukharavindam Dasama Prafullam. The 10th canto is his beautiful lotus face. And Ekadaso Yasa Lalata Patam. The 11th canto is his forehead. And Shiropi to Dwadase Vibhati. And the 12th canto is his head. Tamadidevam Karuna Nidanam Tamala Varnam Suhitavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Bhajamahe Bhagavad Sarupam. I bow down to the Lord, who is the ocean of mercy, Karuna Nidanam, ocean of mercy, whose color is like that of a Tamala tree, Tamala Varnam, who appears in this world for the welfare of all. And I worship him as a bridge for crossing the unfathomable ocean of material existence. The Bhagavatam has appeared as his very self. That's from Padma Purana. So today is Bhagavatam glorification. We started this series yesterday with His Holiness Ramapad Maharaj, further elaborating or illuminating the glories of Srimad-Bhagavatam yesterday evening. And this series will go on for some time, hearing from all of us how Srimad-Bhagavatam has touched our lives. And we are going to also have a festival on the September 10th for the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So with that, I will share how Bhagavatam has entered my life and impacted my life and so on. So I was sharing in a short way yesterday that before moving to Naperville, I moved to Naperville in 2013. Before moving here, I was in Maryland, Laurel area. And that's when I was blessed with the book distribution service. And it was a very short time we were there. And that short participation in book distribution service has left a lively impression in our hearts, actually. So during that time, my Bhakti Riksha leader, we were at their home, and then she was asking, can you distribute Bhagavatam set to the opposite neighbor? So those days, Bhagavatam sets, Bhagavatam distribution, and this Mortal Gita, these are all not that active. So I said, because because of their mercy only practicing Krishna consciousness, I said sure. But then we moved here, but that stayed with me, distribute Bhagavatam. So in the beginning days in Naperville, Stoka Krishna Prabhu got us a table in Lamont Temple, and I was just carrying Bhagavatam. That's also a secret, actually. I'm realizing now. When Vaisheshika Prabhu teaches the 4 laws for book distribution, he says, number 1 is strict, sincere, serious sadhana. 2 is get books. And the 3rd one is organize, and the 4th is the more you show, the more you sell. So this is the 2nd one. What Vaisheshika Prabhu says is, if you don't have book, what will you distribute? What will you sell like that? Right. So, but more to it, when I was carrying Bhagavatam, it always feels like carrying a baby. And we were just carrying, we took it to the Lamont Temple. And, all of a sudden, one person agreed to take Bhagavatam set. It was like the best moment. After that, so many things happened. And one interesting thing is also that person who took the Bhagavatam set in the Lamont Temple, we got to see him after at least 5-6 years. We were going for a Ramapad Maharaj programs in Schaumburg area. And then it happened to be one of the places, this person's home. And we were so surprised seeing that evidence of Srimad-Bhagavatam power. So that's how journey with Bhagavatam has started. And my to-go verse all the time, actually I say purport, my to-go purport is 1344, wherein Sutta Goswami was telling to the sages of Naimisharanya that that he learned this Purana in the association of Maharaj Parikshit, and there he says, I just drank it. So Prabhupada says in the purport there that here it says, this is the secret of learning Srimad-Bhagavatam. Nor one can learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the text by his mundane scholarship. One has to learn Bhagavatam from the representative of Sukadeva Goswami and no one else, if one at all wants to see Krishna in the pages. That is the process. There is no alternative, and so on. And he says here, this is my crux part. Prabhupada says, one must realize the text with proper attention. The word Nivishta means that Sutta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is a real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person. And then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, feeding, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person, at the very beginning, one can surely see Lord Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. So I will say this is my secret. This is my secret weapon. I can say, attention. Along my study of Srimad-Bhagavatam, that's the one thing I try to learn and still learning, and that is helping a lot. In the beginning, when we start reading the Srimad-Bhagavatam, there's a lot of fun, a lot of joy. But then, we get busy with other things and we will lose track. Somehow, by the mercy of, Prabhupada and Srimad-Bhagavatam, this one thing I had focused, bring the attention. Because, we have these reading groups. When we are reading, when we are reading, we feel enlivened. But when other persons are reading, it's not easy to feel the same alignment. So what I used to do is I mute it up and try to read along with the the other person reading, or try to hear it, or try to take note. Try to it's all about attention for me. And as Prabhupada says, when we give attention, for sure we'll experience something. I mean, Prabhupada says that we'll experience Krishna, but at least like it's a different world. So I was also appreciating. Actually, this is also same thing said by Vyasadeva right in the first canto, first chapter, in the second verse, when he was telling about introducing this Bhagavatam, in the first 3 verses. Dharma projita kaitvotra parmo nirmasaranam satam verse. He says in the verse, this beautiful Bhagavatam is compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What's the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears a message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Okay, Prabhuji. And of course, the next verse is also nice, how it gives rasa. But for me, the takeaway is attention. And in the presence of all of you, I pray for much blessings on that. It is so sweet for me, paying attention to Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's a different world. Okay. And the next one is favorite verses. Bhagavatam is always sweet. I was not able to pick the favorite verse because it keeps changing. it's like a musical instrument. It goes on a rhythm. Certain verses strike at certain times. Like one of the verse I can say is, let me see. Krishna. It's in the 11th chapter. It's when Krishna returns to Dwarka. So there, Sutta Goswami is telling this verse, Nityam Nirikshamananam Yadapi Dwarakaukasam Navipryanti Hidrusha Shriyo Dhamanga Machitam. So the idea of this verse is the residents of Dwarka, especially Krishna's associates, his queens and, all the associates, citizens and everyone, they're seeing him every day. Nityam Nirikshamananam Yadapi Dwarakaukasam. But when although they're seeing every day, Navipryanti Hidrisha, they're not getting satiated. They're not getting satisfied. Because the reason is, Shriyo Dhammanga Machitam. Because Krishna is the abode, Dhamma, and all his limbs are the abode of beauty. So one day, when they look at Krishna, wow, so beautiful. And next day also, like, how, when we go take darshan of the deities, like, we cannot move our eyes. So that's like, it's like that, the Bhagavatam also, when we pay attention, it's like, wow, like that. So there are different verses that strike the chord for me. But it is nice. It's like a musical instrument. It goes like that. And then, for sure, the favorite verse I want to point out is in the Bhagavad Gita, out of the 700 verses, only one verse that repeats itself. It is said, the repetition of the repetition is a like it is a mistake in the literature, right? And they don't try to repeat. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna repeats the verse, but he doesn't repeat it fully. Manmana Madbhakta, that verse. Manmana Madbhakta Madhya Imam Namaskuru. He doesn't repeat it fully. He only repeats it 2 lines. He says in the 9th chapter and then 18th chapter. But here in this Bhagavatam, there is one verse that was repeating 4 times. It was like very like amazement when I heard of it. But the verse itself is also so nice. The verse goes like this: Thulayama Lavenapi. 1 second. It goes in the 18th chapter. Parshit Maharaj says to Sukadeva Goswami, when he gets to meet Sukadeva Goswami, this is how it's saying. He is saying, Thulayama Lavenapi. Na swargam, na punarbhavam, bhagavad sangi sangasya matyunam kim utasishaha. So the idea is thula, the balance scale, and one side you put the lavena. Lava means there's a measurement of the time in Sanskrit. It's a movement, and you put a movement on one side. Another side you put the swargam or apunarbhavam, liberation from matter. You put on the other side. So this won't match, because the reason is the lava on this side it's the association of the Bhagavad Sangi, association of the associate of the Lord. Sangasya association, Bhagavad Sangi association, associate of the Lord. When you put it in, it cannot match. So the translation goes like this: the value of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot be even compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter, what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. So basically, idea is what this verse is saying, by associating with the one who is always in association of Bhagavan or Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Sangi, Sangasya, even for a moment, it has the power to bless us the gifts that is not available in these 14 planets. So it was like a movement. I think we were doing a marathon last year, I think 40 pages a day with Sandhya Mataji and all that. So when we are doing it, when we came across this verse, it was like, wow. So it was this verse, the same verse has shown up in the 18th chapter of the first canto, and the same verse that has shown up in the 30th chapter, exact same text, 30th chapter of the fourth canto, and it also repeats in two other places. It's little variation. The little variation is Krishna Dena Pitulaye na Swarga na Punarbhavam Bhagavad Sandhi Sangasya Kim Madhyanam Kimutasasya. It's the same thing. Krishna Nada Pitalaye na Swarga na Punarbhavam. Same thing in the 424, 57, and 11 to 46. Okay. So that's about the favorite verses. And then how Prabhupada has, what sacrifice of Prabhupada really inspires me is the next question. So two things. One time I was hearing a lecture from Gauranga Prabhu from Govardhaniko village. He was telling all the success in Govardhaniko village, he says that we attribute to Srimad-Bhagavatam. And he tells that he was called to speak for a Bhagavad Sapta in Puri. And that Sapta, that the business owner, whoever arranged his Sapta, his budget for that festival was for more than 1 crore or something like that, more than 1 crore for sure. And Gauranga Prabhu says, even devotees that are not devotees of Krishna, they're having such faith in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, they spend more than 1 crore to recite the Srimad-Bhagavatam for the attainment of success in their lives. So he was telling how much faith we should be having. That's the starting point. And I see that Prabhupada really established our movement based on that. When he came to US, he brought Srimad-Bhagavatam, and he did many adventures in those last 11 years. He was here, establishing 108 temples, traveling all over the world and everywhere. But, he didn't miss even a single day not to translate Srimad-Bhagavatam. And that too, he had given his special time, meaning like he used to rest at 8 o'clock and get up at 11 o'clock, something like that, 8:39, and get up at 11, and 11 to 4, it's a private, full time, full attention with Srimad-Bhagavatam. And the way he translated also, I remember one time there was a story that Prabhupada buzzed the bell and the servant comes in the early morning hours, and Prabhupada says that it is so much pain is going, I'm not able to translate. Something of that sort. I don't have the full details, but I have the impression and experience in my mind that he gave a lot for giving us Srimad-Bhagavatam. So it's the duty to receive and to also assist him in sharing with others, sharing that best experience. That also I've been trying, to spend at least 2 hours every day, inspired by Srila Prabhupada, but still in a work in progress. I also seek blessings from you all. I think those are all my highlights with Srimad-Bhagavatam. Srimad-Bhagavatam books themselves, they're so sweet. Recently, I was also sharing with others, just care them nicely. That's all we are asking for you. Give some place in your home, just care them, smell them, kiss them, dust them, and so on. It is so sweet. Bhagavatam was like a baby. That was experience from the beginning days of interaction with Srimad-Bhagavatam. And after that is attention. The more of course, being with Bhagavatam, it is so powerful. So there is a problem of distraction after that, but try to bring the attention more and more and more. And like Bhagavatam opens up more and more sweetness, as Prabhupada is telling, you will see Krishna, and Vyasa himself is telling that you will certainly see Krishna very soon as it says, Ashu Tatshanat, without delay. And the verses and all that is so sweet. And there's a highlight verse of Bhagavatam is 1:18-13, which is repeating 4 times in the whole text of Bhagavatam, which is also very sweet. And then this thing is coming. And yesterday also Rampal Maharaj was explaining, quoting what Prabhupada is telling. So when you get to meet Krishna and you want to ask all your benedictions from him, like, I have this problem, I want this, all those things. So Prabhupada is telling, you can get all that by reaching out Srimad-Bhagavatam. And here is another nice verse from 5th canto. If one submissive hears and chants the auspicious Maharaj, all auspicious Maharaj Bharat, one's lifespan and material opulence will increase. So many falastutis are there like that. One can become very famous by reading Bhagavatam and so on. One does not have to ask anyone else for these things. Simply by studying the life of Maharaj Bharat, one can attain all desirable things. Like the falastutis are there. And finally, Srila Prabhupada says, it's what yesterday Rampal Maharaj was explaining. God is all light and all bliss, all perfection. So also Srimad-Bhagavatam. And the same thing from the text 40 from the 3rd chapter. Vyasdev himself is telling, Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samitu Uttama Shloka Sharitam Chakara Bhagavatam Bhagavan Rishi Nishre Sayalokasya Danyam Swasti Ayanam Mahat. Danyam Swasti Ayanam Mahat. So Srimad-Bhagavatam is a literal incarnation of God. It is compiled by Srila Vyasdev, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. Ultimate good. Danyam. All successful and all blissful and all perfect. So, taking the opportunity of all your association, I pray for your blessings and the wishes. So, to taste the sweetness more and more, and maybe able to share a little bit, on behalf of Srila Prabhu, share a little bit with others, whoever I come across. That's it, Prabhuji, my experience with Srimad-Bhagavatam. I hope I'm able to cover everything, Lakshmikanta Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Anyone wants to say something? Or if you can share something about Srimad-Bhagavatam, a small glory. Okay, I will share something. When we are distributing this Bhagavatam, especially these 18 books, and and we say it's all auspicious, and we are actually like, it's not easy to say it out. We get also doubt, is it true, or things like that. And one of the common issue we face when we present Srimad-Bhagavatam is that people say that I don't read, or more to it, it is not good. You take these good, nice books and keep in the home, just lying in the shelf. I don't read it. It's not nice like that. And when I was thinking about it, and that time I came across Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj. He was giving a class in Baltimore Temple during this Bhadra Purnima time. And when someone presented the same question, people are feeling bad, or not able to read and so on. So then Maharaj said, he speaks in a very light way, right? He said, it's good now, Baba. You're not feeling bad, or you're not feeling problem with other things for your job or health or something like that. You're feeling bad for Bhagavatam. Isn't it nice like that? He was telling. I was appreciating or realizing more purport of it recently, that anyway we're going to feel this, these emotions, good or bad, or whatever it is. Whenever we're going to take the pain for other things in the world, then why not take it for Krishna, or Bhagavatam, or why not for Krishna and his devotees, and so on. And the reasoning is, one side we feel bad and pain, or good and all those things, just with material things, not related to Krishna. Material means. Another side is you're feeling bad for Krishna. I'm not able to distribute Bhagavatam. I'm not able to read Bhagavatam. I'm not able to make up time for Bhagavatam, and you feel bad like that. How it will be from Krishna's perspective, right? So we will become much dearer and close to Krishna. I also want to share one another thing actually that helped me a lot to conclude Srimad-Bhagavatam, is that I got this understanding. So when we are going and distributing Bhagavatam, especially we are glorifying Bhagavatam, and we're telling Bhagavatam is so nice, so auspicious, keep in your home, it is so blessed, like that. When we are telling, right, it felt like a Bhagavatam is giving Bhagavatam is we're getting a soft corner from Srimad-Bhagavatam. Like an example is, I take someone, like we say Mansi Ganga Mataji, take to someone and say Mansi Ganga Mataji is so best, she's so sweet, she's wonderful Mataji, like that. Obviously I'll get good credits from Mansi Ganga Mataji, right? Similarly, I felt like sharing Bhagavatam is like Srimad-Bhagavatam is blessing more and more the soft corner on me, like that. Yeah, that's it, Prabhu and Matajis. I'm not a really I couldn't I'm really put it together. If you want me to explain anything more, clarify more, please tell.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank
you for the series that you planned. It's actually nice to reconnect to the roots of how we receive Bhagavatam. So as you were speaking, things were coming on my thoughts. So I wish the same for everybody. It's always nice to reconnect to the original way we kind of connected at some point, and then see the milestones at different times, how Bhagavatam came, Krishna came through Bhagavatam to just give us some clarity in life. So in our endeavors towards Krishna consciousness. So I feel this is a very nice setup. I didn't pay attention to what was going to happen, honestly speaking, but then this is nice. Thank you so much for this idea.
If all credit goes to Devi Murthy Mataji.
Yeah, both of you.
What she said, let's have the series of Bhagavatam glorification. So it's going to be fun hearing from everyone. Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji Mataji, thank you. Please offer a prayer to Bhagavatam, that they find their homes. Of course, we have this hefty goal. Even one Bhagavatam can find his home. So it will be very happy news for us. Please offer your prayers. Please let's all observe ourselves in Srimad-Bhagavatam for next days. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Ending the call. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.